Hey everyone, welcome into April. This is a very, very exciting month as we have a lot to get done here. We have mowing that needs to get done, and we also have grapes that need to get planted. So we're finally to the point where we can plant some grapes. You can see we're down to 138,000 euros, and that's because we did spend quite a bit of money. Now over here you can see I did go ahead and take down the onion storage. I decided we're not going to do onions here in Monteriggioni. I got a little scared off by the spelt and just not willing to risk doing something that is going to take away from our grapes. That's the true goal. So we've got some grape storage there, and I put up this building here, and it has everything we need to get this grape operation going. We've got all the equipment. All of it is brand new. This trailer over here is how we're going to harvest our grapes. This is a pruning machine thing. I gotta be honest, I'm not real familiar with the grape tools and how they actually work. So this is going to be very, very interesting. We have a sprayer for our grapes because we can't get a normal sprayer down the rows. Not a big deal. This one is 4 meter wide. We don't have to go up and down every single row on each side. And same with the cultivator here. This is the Lizard Titan cultivator. It will do 4 meters wide, so we only have to go down the rows once. And same with the mulcher. The tractor is brand new. It's brand new Landini. It's a cute little thing, and I'm really hoping we can run both the mulcher and the cultivator at the same time. You know, just do one pass. I have no idea if that's actually going to work or not, but we're going to give it a shot. So we've got plenty of work we're going to get done here this month. All of our animals are doing fantastic. We had 2 more baby calves this month, and they're doing very, very well. Now, something I am having an issue with is our dairy is not keeping up with the amount of milk that we're producing right now. So I do need to look into upgrading our dairy to keep up with the amount of milk that is going into it. It's keeping up with the goat milk just fine because there's hardly any goat milk, but it's really starting to not keep up with our cow milk. So that's something we need to address here very, very soon. But we're going to go ahead and get run down to the farmer's market, get our vegetables, and we have 1 pallet of cheese and 1 pallet of bottled milk here as well. So we'll get all of this sold off, and then we can get back here and start mowing our grass. All right, we'll get back in here to the farmer's market. Whoop. All right, and we will go ahead and get this pallet or this trailer sold off. And we made 12,003 euros with a 1,563 euro environmental score bonus. Fantastic. So that puts us back up to 151,000 euros. And that is wonderful. So we need to get everything ready and to get our grapes planted this month. But I also need to keep my eyes open for finding some place to put up a winery. I don't think putting a winery up at the farm is the best idea in the world. So we need to try and find some place to put one up that be a little better for sales. We have our feed wagon loaded. We're going to go ahead and feed the cattle. We still need to get the milk out of the barn and into the dairy. And then we can jump into getting our grass taken care of. It's definitely an exciting month, and I need to make sure I get our animals taken care of before I worry about the grapes. So we'll go ahead and get these guys fed. The chickens and the goats are doing wonderfully on feed, so we don't need to worry about them. Just need to get the cows fed and get the milk out of the barn and into the dairy. All right, so we have 2,840 liters of milk this month. That is absolutely fantastic. Now, what is not fantastic is how little of the milk is actually being used here in the dairy. So we'll go ahead and get this unloaded. And while that's unloading, we come in here, you can see we're sitting at 7,700 liters of milk. That's basically 2.5 months worth of milk that hasn't been used. So I even went ahead and purchased some sugar and started up the chocolate to try and use some more of that milk. But I think we're going to have to go ahead and upgrade this dairy but I want to make sure that we get our grapes planted first, and then we can worry about spending money elsewhere. But I do know that planting grapes is very expensive, or at least it can be very expensive, so I want to get that taken care of first. Then we'll worry about taking care of the dairy. So I'm going to go ahead and park this trailer back, and then we're going to grab the mower and start mowing both of our grass fields. And the small grass field that is beside the farm here is where we're going to plant our grapes. All right, we're going to hammer out this mowing, get it all tedded and raked, and ready to bale. Shouldn't take very long. We're just going to do this little triangle here and both of the fields, both of our grass fields quick, and not worry about any of the headlands again, because our crop is high enough to, our crop is grown tall enough now that we will destroy it if we drive through it. So no point in doing the headlands. We should get plenty of bales off of just the two grass fields here. All right, we got all of our grass mowed, tedded, and raked, so we're ready to bale. So we'll go ahead and get this thing fired up, drop down. We have our bale counter reset, and we'll go ahead and hammer out all of these bales as fast as we can. That way we can get straight into planting our grapes. All right, we're finishing up our last row here of baling hay. Won't have enough to make another bale, but that is perfectly fine. So we are done. We can get that shut off. Go ahead and push the last bale out, and it should give us 23. Perfect. Very happy with that. That's what we got last time we baled, so that is spot on accurate. And before we get going too far here, yeah, I don't see any reason to do any lime or fertilizer here. That is perfect. And I'm not going to worry about doing lime or fertilizer in the other grass field until we can get the grapes put in. So we're going to go ahead and get this put away, get all of our bales picked up, and then finally be able to plant some grapes. I'm so excited for this. It's been a couple years in the making here, but we're finally here. And I can't wait to get these grapes put in. All right, and we are finally here. We're finally at the moment where we can go ahead and plant some grapes, and I am so excited for this. So we'll go ahead and jump up into our build mode here. Zoom in, and you can kind of see there's a bit of track right there. I went ahead and ran the Landini with the trailer to see just how hard is it going to be to turn around, how much room am I going to have, and I think if we leave right about there will be good enough. So we'll come all the way down to the end of the field here and leave. Since we have plenty of room to turn around down on this end, we don't need to worry quite so much, but I do want to make sure we're kind of straight-ish with the world here. So I think we'll go ahead and call that good for that one. Zoom out a bit. Yeah, it probably should have been a little closer to the edge of the field here. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that one, and at least I have an idea of where I'm at now. And we'll go ahead and put in, hopefully, this entire field here. So I'll catch up to you guys when we get this finished. All right, and as you can see, we have all of the grape vineyard planted here. That did cost quite a bit of money. That was definitely very expensive. We're down to 102,962 euros. But we got quite a bit of grapes planted here, and boy, am I excited. This is absolutely fantastic. Now, there's not anything else we can do this month. There's just not enough growth here for us to go through with the mulcher, so that we'll have to wait till next month. But boy, this is so exciting having this finally planted. We are finally started onto our journey into grapes. Now, with this 102,000 that we have left, we will have some seed that we need to buy after, we do our harvest. We have to continue buying seed for our greenhouses, fertilizer for our greenhouses, but all in all, we're sitting pretty good. We're very stable. So I think it's time to start doing some upgrades to some of the equipment. First thing we're going to upgrade is our trailer. Both of those trailers kind of suck to load bales on, so I'm going to sell both trailers and try and get one really nice trailer that's going to work for everything we need. As when we harvest these grapes, they will be in pallets. We have all of the pallets coming out of the greenhouses, pallets coming out of the dairy. So, and speaking of the dairy, that's something we need to do. We're going to run over to the dairy now and go ahead and get that thing upgraded. I almost forgot about that. So we'll get this little Landini here fired up, and I do want to make one pass down just to make sure that I did give myself enough room here. That's one thing I'm a little nervous about, is running over a crop in our other field. But hopefully this isn't too bad. Oh, that's close. So that's, yeah, we definitely did not leave enough room. All right, well, harvest is definitely going to be interesting, and we might have to go ahead and increase that headland a little bit, expand it into the other field. You know what? That's okay. Not the end of the world by any means, and we have plenty of room down here to turn around. So the only spot I'm going to be a little nervous about is this last row here. It's a little close to our bale storage, but not the end of the world by any means. All right, we're in here at the dairy. And if we take a look, you can see just how much milk we have. It's crazy. So we are going to go ahead and upgrade this dairy. We're going to go up to a level 2 for 39,600 euros. And we will see what this does this next month. 85,000. What the? For some reason, it came across as 85,000 in construction costs, but that's definitely not how much came out. Yeah, I'm a little confused there. That threw me off, but we're at a level 2 here, so we'll see. Hopefully this will go through some more milk here and, increase our production, which is going to increase our profits. But that is pretty much it for the month of April here. So I will see you guys next month when we are ready to mulch and cultivate our grapevines. Welcome into May, everyone. It's a pretty exciting month. We've got some grape work to do, or work to do in our grape vineyard here, and we've got plenty of vegetables to sell. We do have some milk and some butter to sell, but I am highly disappointed in how much we didn't produce here. Maybe I'll give it another month. I'm going to give it one more month, see if maybe it's just going to take a little bit for the upgrade to really kick in, but yeah, it didn't really go through very much milk. I'm pretty disappointed for how much that cost. The increase just wasn't great. But we do have 2 pallets of butter, 1 pallet of milk, some eggs, and we do have goats to sell this month as well. So we're going to make pretty good money this month. You can see we're down to 51,000. Now, and I do have a different trailer. So we went ahead and sold both of our trailers. I bought this one. It is a auto-loading for bales, just to speed up the baling process a bit, as baling is not really something I want to focus on in this map. The grapes and winemaking is definitely what I want to focus on the most. So anything I can do to speed up the baling, I'm absolutely going to take advantage of it. So we're going to go ahead and get all of this sold off, and then we can jump straight into feeding our animals. Our chickens need feed, cows need feed, and then we can get into our grape work. All right, we're getting backed in here, and we'll go ahead and get this sold off. We made 13,198 euros with a 1,719 euro environmental score bonus. That is absolutely fantastic. We're up to 66,764 euros, which is wonderful. Now, I've already kind of taken a look at the vineyard this morning, and I don't think we're going to need to put down any lime or fertilizer this year for it, which is great. That is a huge cost savings that we're not going to have, which is wonderful. That's not something I expected, but it's definitely something I'm very, very thankful for. So we just need to worry about keeping weeds knocked down and doing all the field work to make sure that we are maximizing our yield as much as possible. All right, we got our feed wagon loaded. We're going to head up, get our cattle fed, and you can see our grape vineyard is looking pretty good. All in all, I'm very happy with how it looks. Seems to be at least growing, so I did something right, which is fantastic. Now, I have done a little bit of testing off screen just to at least have an idea of what I'm supposed to do with grapes, but I'm honestly not 100% sure how this is going to go or what I'm really supposed to do here. But while that's unloading, we can go ahead and take a look. You can see we've got another 2,700 liters of milk coming out of this dairy barn, which is a lot. But our herd is growing. We're up to 18 head of cattle in here, which is absolutely fantastic. And we got another 1 or 2, I think, that are supposed to be born next month. And we've got a pretty good cycle going here of keeping everybody happy, healthy, and keeping newborns coming in every couple of months to make sure that we don't run dry on milk. So all in all, I am very, very happy with where we're at here. All right, and we're going to go ahead and get our chickens fed next. And we're getting a little low on barley. Should be enough to get them to harvest, but boy, did I cut it close. I definitely wish I would have saved a little bit more barley. I believe we're going to be able to make it to harvest, but boy, it's close. So we got 48 liters left over here. We'll go ahead and get that put back into our silo. And then we can jump in the Landini and start mulching and cultivating, and I'm hoping we can do it at the same time. As I believe it's possible as long as the Landini has enough power to actually run both pieces of equipment at the same time. All right, we got the Landini out here. We'll go ahead and get our tool unfolded, apparently. Get it fired up. Get it dropped down. So that's the mulcher. Unfold the cultivator. Get that dropped down. And we should be good to go here. So yeah, this is definitely a much wider running than what it looks. I went ahead with and picked up the Colossus pack just to make things a little bit easier, a little bit faster, as A, I'm not very good with grapes, and B, this just makes things a lot more simple. All right, and as you can see, it is rolling between both rows. And I apparently got the fast version as well. That's interesting. Didn't mean to do that, I guess. Yeah. So this is definitely going to take a little bit of getting used to. So I will catch up to you guys when I get this finished. And hopefully everything goes well. And, yeah, not really sure what to think here. All right, well, after doing a couple of rows here, the thought of running both machines at the same time was great, but it is definitely going to be outside of my skill set. I'm going to end up destroying one of my fields here if I'm not careful, so I went ahead and dropped the cultivator off, and we're just going to run the mulcher quick, and then I can get caught back up and run the cultivator afterwards. That way I'm only having to worry about one implement at a time here. But I can definitely say I will need to extend this headland quite a bit. I definitely did not leave myself anywhere near enough room here. All right, we got all of our mulching done, so we're ready to cultivate. And that mulching went pretty good, but I definitely need to extend that headland on the other end of this field, because this tractor just does not turn around enough. So, lesson learned, but I don't know if there is another vineyard tractor that maybe has a better turning radius, that would help. But I am definitely bumping into my crop a bit here, which is an issue to say the least. All right, we are done cultivating and mulching this field, and it does not look like we have any weeds that are growing, so we should be good there. So it's basically just sit around and wait at this point for these grapes to mature and be ready to be harvested. So all in all, went very well. Learned a few things. Number one, this headland needs to be bigger. Number two, I cannot run the mulcher and the cultivator at the same time. It's just going to be a disaster with me attempting to do that. So running them independently is much, much better, much faster, much easier, and just an overall better idea. But as you can see, we're looking at, about 19 tons per hectare for grapes. That is absolutely fantastic. Now, I have no idea what that actually means. I've yet to figure out the whole hectares and tons and all that. So we're done with our grape work here. I'm going to go ahead and get this tractor put away, and we're going to hook up to our trailer and haul some goats into the sale barn and get them sold off. All right, and we have 8 goats loaded up, so we're going to go ahead and get these guys hauled down to the sale barn and get them sold off. All right, we're down here at the sale barn, so we'll go ahead and get these 8 goats sold off here. And that made us 6,638 euros. That is absolutely fantastic. So that puts us at 73,402 euros. And I'm very, very happy with that sale. It's nice to get a little bit of profit off of our animals here. And we're going to go ahead and call this an episode. So if you guys like what you're seeing, please make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode.